If you or someone you know owes a debt collection company, the Better Business Bureau says it might be a scam.
Thousands of people have complained about these debt collection calls to the Better Business Bureau recently.
They say that they're suing you because they're trying to get money out of you. They're trying to scare you into paying it.
One person said the debt collection company called their family member and they lost over $1,400 and they were just trying to help them.
James, if you want to spend the next week at home and not in jail, you'll give me your bank account or debit card number right now.
So here are some consumer red flags to look for.
We're hearing about an increasing number of complaints about high-pressure phone calls from debt collectors.
In this video, we're going to talk about the recent increase in debt collection call scams. Now, this has been going on for years, but scammers are getting smarter. Check this out. Now, this is how the scam works, okay? So the first thing is the scammer's going to call you or they're going to text you, okay? They may even call your job or family member, as you'll see here shortly, and they'll say that they work for the collection company or law firm, government agency, or whatever, and there is an overdue payment for you or a family member. Now, after replying that you or your family member don't owe the money, the debt collector starts to threaten to file a lawsuit, have wages garnished, or even request an arrest warrant or arrange for court appearance thousands of miles from home. All of these claims most definitely could be nerve-wracking, but it can leave the person answering the phone not even sure if they owe the money in the first place. Now, one consumer told the Better Business Bureau about their situation, and this is how it went. They said that a family member was contacted, being told that the company was looking for them to deliver papers to them. They then contacted the company and they were told that a loan from the company had been taken out in their name back in 2012. They had no clue about this loan, but they were told that they were going to be served with papers and that they would have a Class 3 felony on their record if convicted of defrauding a bank institution if they did not settle the matter today. This consumer reported losing over $1,489 to this scam. Real quick, if you haven't done so already, be sure to download our free ebook. You can actually scan this QR code or you can click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Now, what makes this difficult is that there are actually millions of people who actually have real collections with real debt collection companies. So getting a call from someone that said that they are calling from that company could trick a lot of people.
Welcome back. We're hearing about an increasing number of complaints about high-pressure phone calls from debt collectors. And in many cases, the people making the calls are launching scams, just looking to cash in on those stress of being behind on bills.
If you've received some irritating phone calls about debt you know you do not owe, you're not alone. Thousands of people have complained about these debt collection calls to the Better Business Bureau recently and over the past couple of years.
In fact, between 2019 and 2021, the Scam Tracker received more than 7,800 reports about loan and debt collection scams, with losses of $4.1 million. According to the National Consumer Law Center, an estimated 70 million people have a bill in collections at any given time. That's nearly 1 in 4 adult Americans. An estimated 18 million Americans have more than one bill in collections, setting them up for multiple contacts a day from multiple collectors. This is what consumer protection experts say is creating that opening for fraudsters.
If you don't think you owe anything and somebody calls you and tells you you do, hang up.
So here are some consumer red flags to look for. The BBB found that scammers posing as payday loan companies or debt collectors arm themselves with stolen financial information to convince consumers to pay up, and they'll usually ask for payments through tough-to-trace sources like gift cards, payment apps, and money orders.
Now, one thing you could do about this is to call the original creditor if you want to make some type of payment arrangement or something like that. Most of the original creditors may work something out with you if you want to do something like that. And if they don't, then worst case scenario, they'll still give you at least the right contact information as well, too. Now, if you do get a call from someone, here's what you should look for.
Hello?
Hello, James. I'm from Scamtown Collections.
Wait, who are you with?
You owe us $850 and you haven't been making any payments.
What payments? What do you mean?
If you don't pay us what you owe by close of business today, there will be serious consequences.
What do you mean? What kind of consequences?
You're likely looking at jail time.
Okay, now a real debt collector would never do that. Legitimate debt collectors know that it's illegal to threaten to have someone arrested for not paying their debts. But this is something that scammers do all the time.
Jail? Wait. I can figure this out. How much do I owe? Who do I owe? And what is this for?
James, if you want to spend the next week at home and not in jail, you'll give me your bank account or debit card number right now.
James asked some really good questions. How much do I owe, and to whom? But the caller didn't give an answer. You have a right to know how much you owe and who the creditor is, even if you didn't ask for it. A third-party debt collector should provide this and other information over the phone, and must generally send this information to you within 5 days of initially contacting you.
James, we need you to give us your bank account or debit card number to get this debt taken care of right away.
I still don't know who you are or what this is for.
So, jail then.
No, just hang on.
Scammers will often try to pressure you to make a decision so fast you don't have time to think about what they're saying. That's why it's important to ask questions, get fully informed about the debt, and not be pressured by illegal threats. A real debt collector should answer your questions. The address of the company they work for? Sure. A callback number that works? No problem. You can use this information to look it up and verify online, or call them back at their number. Legitimate debt collectors want you to know who they are and how to contact them. It's even reasonable to expect them to help you determine the best way to pay off your debts, and often to even help you arrange payments over a period of time. James, this is a scam.
It is?
Definitely. Next time, make sure you've been given sufficient information or have received the written notice with information about the debt before you pay anything. Debt collection issues can be a challenge, and you should feel confident that the debt is yours and trust that your payments are going to a legitimate collector, not a scammer out to defraud you. Visit consumerfinance.gov/debt scams to get trustworthy answers to your questions about debt collection and learn how to protect yourself from debt collection scams.
Thanks.
You got it. Oh, and I would hang up the... There you go.
I know many of you all are prepared if they call your cell phone, but what about this? What if they call your job?
I got a call at my work last week from somebody here on my office phone. From somebody saying that they were trying to serve me a summons or subpoena. And I was being sued. So, I wrote the number down and the case number they gave me. And I called back, and she said basically call within an hour to prevent somebody from coming out to subpoena you at work. So I call back, and I get this legal office, and I wrote the name down, but now I can't remember what it was called. And they were absolutely horrible, like atrocious, abusive, rude, and they told me basically that they were trying to serve me a civil suit for an unpaid car loan from like 20 years ago, okay? But they wouldn't give me any information. They wouldn't tell me about the car. They wouldn't give me anything. They kept telling me all it was a contract number. We don't have any other information. They refused to give me any information. And I called back 3 times. The guy was horrible. He hung up on me. He refused to give me any information. And the 3rd time I called back, I told him, look, the statute of limitations for debt collection in the state of Texas is 4 years. 4. You can't even chase me for this alleged loan that you refuse to tell me whether it's even mine or not. You won't give me any information because it's 20 years old. Is you're telling me from 2003? You can't even file that. It's not even on my credit anymore. And of course, he tried to gaslight me, and he didn't know. He didn't like the fact that I was asking so many questions. I ended up calling this investigations office investigates credit collectors through the Attorney General's office, and told her what happened, and she told me that it was a scam. That basically, it's an elaborate scam, but she says, the reason they hung up on you was because you were asking too many questions. He said, they're trying to, what they do is they do that, and they say that they're suing you because they're trying to get money out of you. They're trying to scare you into paying it. But legally, they have no leg to stand on. Technically, if you ask a collector to verify the debt, they have to do it, and they wouldn't. So, I just wanted to pass this along in case any of you ever get a phone call like this. It's a scam.
Now, I can't believe they went as far as to calling her job, and because of that, she almost fell for it. But it wasn't until she was able to get confirmation from some type of investigator that she had looked deeper into it just to make sure. But as always, we'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop.